Well, there's another big story that puts America on the world stage that's not getting a lot of attention, but it could impact all of us. A World Health Organization meeting next week discussing a global pandemic treaty will be held at the World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland. And you may not know this, but President Biden, since this past January, has been sending over amendments to the WHO, which under the Constitution, he has the full authority to do so. So what does this treaty do, and how much control would the WHO have here to determine if a health crisis is something that they want to get involved in? Are we giving our own sovereignty away? Many are concerned. We want to bring in former ambassador to the Netherlands, Pete Hoekstra, to kind of hash all this out. Great to have you with me today, Ambassador. We thank you.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
This story is alarming to some people who are saying, the WHO may describe this treaty as it's aimed at protecting the world from future infectious disease crises, but others say it sounds like a globalist dream. What is going on here?
Well, let's put this in context. First, the WHO has failed miserably as a global organization in its handling of the COVID pandemic. Way back in January of 2020, it said, don't worry, there's no indication that this can be spread from human to human. The same month, it blasted President Trump for putting in travel restrictions from China, saying, that's a totally inappropriate move. So it's a failed organization. Eventually, Donald Trump put in place a process to pull us out of the organization. And we also had a consensus from our allies that this organization would be reformed. Well, now we're in the Biden administration. What are we getting? We're getting reform, but rather than reforming how this institution has performed, we're giving it significantly more authority to identify exactly what a pandemic is,
right,
when it's
exactly,
when it is occurring, giving it authority to prescribe solutions.
That's where I want to get into it. People need to understand the severity of this. I mean, there were 13 amendments that the president, has sent over. This has flown under the radar. We don't hear mainstream media talking about that. Ambassador, some say it will give the UN body sweeping powers, that they could come in and say, the U.S., you have a health crisis, or you have a mental health crisis. Maybe we should look at if there's too many guns. I mean, is this for real? This could be happening?
Of course it's for real. Listen to how the Biden administration and the left is talking about some of these problems. They do talk about gun violence as being a health crisis. They do talk about the impact from climate change as being a health crisis. So they're setting the framework for an organization unelected, unaccountable to the American people to come in and say, hey, these are health crises. We as the WHO, without any input from the United States, have designated these as crises. And here are perhaps some prescriptive mechanisms that you need to put in place, or we will bring sanctions from the rest of the world community against the United States. It is unbelievable that number one, this is coming from an American administration, the Biden administration, for these kinds of changes. But it's what the left, Bill Gates and others have wanted. They love these globalist organizations.
Yep.
When I was the ambassador to the Netherlands, the Dutch would always come back and say, better together. Right. Well, this is one where better together just doesn't ring very true.
It just reeks of the World Economic Forum, and hearing Klaus Schwab saying, by 2030, you will have nothing, you will own nothing, and you will like it. And, Americans, I think, really need to wake up and take a closer look. It's funny because when you kind of read a little bit of mainstream articles about it, they want to diminish it, Ambassador. They want to say, oh, no, this isn't what this is about, and kind of say it's, we should get a tinfoil hat on if we're talking about it. But you, obviously, as someone who's a former ambassador who knows quite well how treaties work, the president didn't have to get any congressional approval really to push this through. Because this is a treaty, this would be binding international law, correct?
It could be. This is what we need now is we need a couple of bold senators to stand up and at least start asking the Biden administration questions about this and how this administration can be granting this increased sovereignty to the WHO at the expense of the U.S. government, at the expense of the American people, and hopefully, we'll have next week is critical. It's the first vote. We don't want to lose it, but we haven't seen, the action asking for accountability from the Senate. But, then we'll have another 6 months to fight this before final approval, which would occur in November. So, look, the initial salvo is trouble. But we're not going to give up on this, and the American people are with us on this. They don't trust the WHO and the leadership there.
Exactly. And also, there's just so much CCP influence. So you have to look at that as well and follow the money, as always. Like you had mentioned, how the pandemic was treated and the Wuhan lab. And I think that, right there are major red flags right off the bat. It does seem quite stunning that this has gone this far. And as we said, the meeting is starting on Sunday. So I'm glad to say there's still some time here. Want to get your thoughts on the big vote sending $40 billion to Ukraine this week. And that's, a total commitment of almost $54 billion. And Ambassador, right after the vote went through, Biden authorized $100 million more in military. Are you concerned that there's not enough oversight of where this money is being allocated and how Ukraine is using it? And there could be some waste, fraud, and abuse here?
I was with 3 Republican freshman members to the House of Representatives who all voted no on this. I was with them yesterday. I was so proud of what they were doing. There's no accountability on how this money is going to be spent. We have a $6 trillion federal budget. We couldn't find $40 billion to cut somewhere else to fund this. And the third thing is, once again, we are bailing out Europe. With this $40 billion, we will have spent something close to $56 to $60 billion helping Ukraine. Our European allies are somewhere around $7 to $8 billion. This is in their backyard. They refuse to pay for NATO. Now they're refusing to help in Ukraine. They're freeloading off of, let's put it bluntly, they're freeloading off of the American taxpayer. And in Ukraine, a war in their own backyard, you'd think that they'd be willing to pick, their economy is as big as ours. You'd think they'd be willing to pick up at least 50% of the cost of what Ukraine needs. But the Biden administration really isn't even asking or pushing for it.
Well, obviously it has already been passed. And it is out there, and there are serious issues that, for accountability and the accounting and where each dollar is going that I think that people need to stay on top of. Former ambassador to the Netherlands, Pete Hoekstra, as always, sir, great to have you with us, and we certainly appreciate your insight.
Always good to be with you. Thanks, Bianca.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.